Lord Jesus Christ, and welcome to St. Cyril Methodius Orthodox Church. I am the priest, Father Gregory Jensen. Good to have you with us here this morning. It is Sunday, the 11th of October, the 18th Sunday after Pentecost in the Orthodox Church, and we will have liturgy in about an hour and a half. So if you're watching this now, I hope, especially if you can't get to church where you are, that you join us a little bit later this morning. So last night at the end of Vespers, I was talking with one of the chanters, and my wife and I were both here as it happened. And she came and just chatted with us as well. And we're looking out the window, and we hear all this noise outside in front of the church. And there seems to be a protest. I'm not really sure what the protest was, but given the way protests have gone here in Mad City the last several months, honestly, it was a little frightening to watch people march down the street in front of the church. They went past us, thank God, and there were no trouble, thank God. But the three of us looked at each other and realized, yeah, okay, we need to go home now, and we need to, because just before things turn violent, or even if they don't turn violent before streets are blocked and we just have trouble getting home, because both Matushka Mary and I and Nick and his wife live on the east side of town, so we would have to go through potentially the direction in which the protests were going and where they would probably gather. So we scooted in our cars and off we went. But it did bring home to me, that this has been very much a summer of extended protests. And without wishing to suggest that a lot of the underlying causes or inspirations for the protests are not legitimate, there is something to be said for not protesting. The difficulty with protests is that they seek to apply pressure. They seek to coerce others to do what we want them to do. Not always, to be sure. Some are just a general statement of, this is an injustice. But, I think a lot of times we end up getting involved in protests, whether formal protests like marching down the street, or maybe just, planting our feet and just saying, that's it, I'm done. When communication has broken down, in that sense, protest is the antithesis, the opposite of what should happen, not only in civil society, but in the church, which is rational or reasoned discourse. We should be able to speak to one another and to make our positions clear, and then in the back and forth of discussion and debate, come to a mutually agreeable conclusion. This is the way in which peace is fostered, that all those who are concerned with an issue are given the opportunity to state their case. Now as we go from, say two friends, to the family, to a parish, to a diocese, to a church, and the civil order from, the neighborhood to the city, to the state, to the government, involving all those who are concerned becomes more and more difficult, just because of the economy of scale. Nevertheless, there is something to be said for remembering that we are rational beings, and that we have the ability to state our cases, and marshal arguments and evidence in behalf of our position. When we lose that, either because circumstances don't allow for rational discussion because of external forces that would seek to silence people, or whether because of internal resources, we have abdicated the use of reason. When rational discourse breaks down, violence is sure to follow. And we've seen this all summer with the protests that have at times, frankly, quite frequently, degenerated into riots and to destruction. We are rational beings, and our ability to reason reflects the fact that we are created in the image of God. Our ability to reason, to understand, to discuss reflects that which is like God in us. Those who attack human reason, those who denigrate human reason, those who abdicate human reason, are really committing a very great sin, and they are degrading not only their neighbors, but above all themselves. So maybe if there's a takeaway from this summer of protests and riots, it's the need to reclaim for ourselves, both personally and as a nation, the importance of rational civil discourse, of public debate and discussion, and yes, even disagreement, in order to foster a just and peaceful society. Well, it's about 10 after 8 now, and we'll have liturgy. Liturgy will start at 9:30, so just about an hour and 20 minutes from now. So if you're watching this now, and like I said, if you can't get to church where you are, I hope you'll join us here at 9:30 Central Time at St. Cyril Methodius. As always, I ask you that if you are watching, give us a little thumbs up or a heart, or make a comment, just so that we know you're there, and maybe we can have a little bit of a civil, rational discourse between us. All right. Well, God bless everyone, and bye-bye.